I'm going to give you guys the top 5 best loadouts in Warzone right now, and if they're not in this video, you should not be using them. Contrary to popular belief, the Ram 7 is still the best long range and assault rifle in the game right now, and I cannot wait to show you guys this class setup because it really gets the job done and has very little recoil. In fact, I would say 0, but because people say in the comments, there's no such thing as 0 recoil, and my gun doesn't do that, I just have to say very little recoil. So the first thing you want to start out with is the Casus Break. This helps with horizontal recoil and firing aim stability, and you lose some aim down sight speed. This is the biggest thing. Like, the Casus Break is the biggest factor to making this thing have no recoil. A lot of people go without the Casus Break and wonder why they don't do as well. Trust me, this is the most important attachment. Next, put on the Cronin Headwind Long Barrel. This helps with bullet velocity and range, aiming out of its way, and firing aim stability. You lose some hip fire and attack stance spread, aim walking speed, and sprint to fire speed, but I just don't think it's a big deal. Some people like to use the XRK Core Mark 40 Heavy Barrel for the gun kick control, aiming out of its way, bullet velocity and range, and recoil control. I feel like it's not really worth it. I feel like you might as well just have more bullet velocity and range, especially considering how fast this thing actually kills. You want to have as much bullet velocity as range as possible. Like, look at that. You get a plus 20 increase on everything. Now you get a plus 13, 12, and 15 with the XRK, which is really good as well. And you get some recoil, horizontal, and vertical boost. But because of the setup, I just don't think you actually need this. It doesn't need more recoil control. It already has very little recoil as it is. Put on the Brune Heavy Support Grip for gun kick control, aiming out of its way, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability. You lose some aim down sight speed and vertical recoil, but it's just not a big deal. You're not even going to notice it. Next is the Given. Just put on the 60 round drum. This is the best choice for ammunition, like magazine. I don't really recommend the 40 or the 20. In fact, if you played Warzone using the 20 round mag, you're most likely not going to do very good. This is just very optimal to have. Last thing is the HVS 3.4 pad for gun kick control and recoil control at the cost of sprint speed and sprint to fire speed. As you guys see, the recoil gun kick decreases by 20%. Like, that is massive. The pros are just so useful that the cons aren't even noticeable. This thing is absolutely insane in my opinion. Does not take any effort to actually use. As you guys see, it has such little recoil. It's actually ridiculous. This has to be, in my opinion, the best weapon in the game right now. And I know with the recent buffs and nerfs, people are really scrambling around to look for an amazing weapon. This is the amazing weapon, the Ram 7. It's always been great. It's always been the best AR. And this is the setup that you guys need to use. It has no recoil and it really gets the job done. So make sure you guys have this class. Next is the best SMG in the game. It's the HRM9. Now I'm going to give you guys a different build than what pros and everybody typically give you, because this one actually kills faster than the pro build. Throw on the Zemin 35 compensated flash hider for shorter radar pings, vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed and bullet velocity. Now keep that kind of in mind of the reduction of bullet velocity, because we're going to take care of that. Put on the DR6 sand stop for aim down sight speed, aim walking speed, sprint to fire speed, and movement speed at the cost of hip fire and attack stance spread, aim walking steadiness, and that's it. I mean, I think that's a pretty good trade-off, and trust me, it's not even going to be anything that you notice. Now we're putting on the 9mm high grain rounds for bullet velocity and damage range at the cost of recoil control, which you will not notice. This is such a huge factor. I see a lot of people using the Thorn barrel. You guys do not need that, and you guys are going to see why you guys don't need that when this class setup is in your hands. Make sure you guys put on the 50 round drum for the magazine ammo capacity. You do lose the cons. I mean, I'll be honest. It's a trade-off, but with everything in this build, it's not even going to feel like you lost any of it. And last but not least, the folding stock for recoil control, gun kick control, and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed. Now check this bad boy out. This thing does not move. I try to tell people this thing is an absolutely amazing weapon. In fact, even at long range, it really does get the job done. So this is something that you definitely should try out. Like, even if you haven't, tried this build before, if you just use the regular competitive build, this is definitely one that I would highly recommend. It's an amazing weapon that really gets the job done very easily. I win the majority of my gunfights. In fact, if you guys watch the stream, I most likely will be live at some point. Guys, I'm dropping 30 and 40s consistently. And if you guys want to see that type of gameplay, make sure you guys come to the YouTube. Also, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch more often, so make sure you guys come through there. The Holger 556 recently got buffed, and oh man, there's very little recoil in this build as well, so I think you guys are going to like this one. Throw on the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor for being undetectable by the radar, recoil control, bullet velocity, and range at the cost of aim down sight speed, aim walking steadiness, and sprint to fire speed. Next, put on the Cheerios 6 Match for bullet velocity and range, recoil control, and gun kick control at the cost of aim down sight speed, aiming idle sway, and sprint to fire speed. Put on Brune Pivot Vertical Grip for gun kick control, vertical recoil, aiming idle sway, and firing aim stability at the cost of horizontal recoil, aim down sight speed, and sprint to fire speed. I just don't think there's a better choice, and trust me, I went through every single one of of them that really control recoil, this is the best possible choice for the Holger. 40 round mag, because unfortunately you can't get any more than that. Like, this is such an amazing weapon. If it had more bullets, it may be considered too OP. The last thing in my preference was the Jack Glass's optic. I like it so much. Like, there's the Mark II reflector or Mark III reflector, whatever it's called. I just feel like it's pointless to have that when this is actually a thing and it helps with firing aim stability. If you guys don't want this, you can use the Niter, but I just feel like you're gonna want this more, and I'm gonna show you guys why. So check this out. This thing literally does not move. I'm not even using like the Cass's break or anything like that. This thing just literally does not move. It's an amazing weapon. It doesn't take any effort to actually use. So with that being said, please give this class setup a chance. The Holger 556 is so great that if you're not using it, you're really missing out on an amazing gun. The MCW is absolutely insane recently, and this SMG build is something that you guys are going to absolutely love. Make sure you guys have the Jack Raven kit, because if you guys don't, I mean, it's just not going to work in general. This increases the rate of fire, mobility and handling, damage at close range, and hip fire attack stance spread. You lose the bullet velocity and range and recoil control, but we are going to take care of that. Trust me, this is going to feel like an absolute laser. So throw on the Cass's break for horizontal recoil and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed. This thing is already going to be incredibly quick, so despite the aim down sight speed reduction, you're not going to feel it. Next, put on the DR6 hand stop for aim down sight speed, aim walking speed, sprint to fire speed, and movement speed at the cost of hip fire attack stance spread and aim walking steadiness. Trust me, this is essential, and you're going to feel like you're using a literal SMG. Put on the blackout high grain rounds for no enemy skulls, bullet velocity, and damage range at the cost of recoil control, and trust me, you're not going to notice the recoil reduction. And finally, put on the 40 round mag. I feel like this is the best possible choice overall. I don't think that you should use 20. And 30, I just don't feel like it's enough. I don't think it's enough. If you think that 30 is enough, then feel free to throw something else on there. But I think that 40 is the sweet spot. And I can't even fully show you guys what this thing like in game. But as you guys see, like, this thing is absolutely insane. Like, you guys can just slide right into the action and absolutely cook. And it kills so quick. It kills so quick. This build is so amazing, and I feel like it actually is a meta weapon in the game right now. The MCW didn't get much love in its base form, but the SMG form is so amazing that if you're not trying it out, you're missing out. So please copy this class setup down. Please give it a try. I think you guys will absolutely love it. Final weapon I'm going to show you guys is the technical quote-unquote long range meta. It's the SOA Subverter, and I know some people are going to be upset if I didn't include it, so I'm going to make sure you guys have it now. Throw on the Cass's break L for horizontal recoil and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed. Next, put on the Dozer 90 Longbow for bullet velocity and range, firing aim stability, gun kick control, and recoil control at the cost of aim walking speed, sprint to fire speed, aim walking steadiness, and aim down sight speed. You do not want to use the Fervor 762. It just does not work. The Dozer is really the best choice overall, and look at the benefits. You get an increase of 10 to the effective minimum and 5% bullet velocity. But look at the pros on the recoil side, 12%, 10%, 10%. As an absolute essential. Throw on the Brune Heavy Support Grip for gun kick control, aiming out of sway, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed and vertical recoil, which is not a big deal. Put on the 50 round drum because that's just the best choice overall. I don't really recommend the 30. I don't see anybody actually rocking the 30 round mag, but if you know somebody that uses it and you want to use it, be my guest. Just know that you're going to lose to somebody with 50. Last but not least, the Jack Glassless Optic for the precision sight picture and the firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed. I can't wait to show you guys how powerful this thing is. It's actually insane. So you guys see, like, this does not take literally any effort to use. I do have a build for you guys if you guys don't want to use the optic. I know some people are out there that are more so like just the iron sight guy. If you guys are the iron sight individual, then I have something for you guys. Don't worry. So here's the entire class right here. The Jack Glassless Optic is really just my preference, but if you guys don't want that, go to stock and then go to Motion V2 Heavy Stock for the recoil control and gun control at the cost of aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. And this is the new build for you. You guys are going to like it a whole lot because it really does not take much effort to use. Like, this thing is absolutely insane. So like I said, for the people that prefer the iron sights, this is definitely a weapon for you. Like, it's an absolutely amazing weapon. I still don't think it's better than the RAM, but you know, technically it's meta. So if you guys prefer this, here's the entire class setup for SOA Subverter. And guys, do me a giant favor. Let me know which class setup out of these 5 are your favorite. I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And I'm going to shout some of you guys out in the next video.